Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I'm filming this video in one go, so if I stumble over my words moving forwards, I apologise about that. And also, if the quality of this video is fairly poor as well, if there's any lag, anything like that at all, sadly it cannot be helped, and hopefully it is not too much of an issue for you. This is yet another Eurovision 2022 related video here on my channel, and today I am going to be telling you my updated top 40 of this year's competition, which of course starts in just a few weeks in Turin in Italy. So I've been taking a look on my channel. It seems as though it's been about 3 weeks since I filmed that original top 40 of the year video. Thank you to all of you who saw that. Since then I've ranked the songs a couple more times, and obviously things have changed a little bit. What I've got in front of me is a top 40 from about a week ago, and I'm going to be using that as reference to the ranking that I made a short while ago before recording this video, just to see which countries have moved up the most, which countries have moved down the most. So do bear that in mind. Also, this is just my opinion, do not take it too seriously. Somebody's got to be in 40th place. It doesn't mean that I dislike any of the songs, it doesn't mean that I dislike any of the countries. Do not take offence, it's as simple as that. And if my lists are anything like your lists, these positions are interchangeable. They really are. One day you might love this track, the next day maybe you're not so keen. So with that being said, I'm going to get straight into this. Links in the description as always to my other social media pages, check them out if you so wish. So, let me just do this, and not that, let me do this, and then this, and here we go. My number 40 of the year is still Lithuania, I'm sorry to say. This is Sentimente by Monica Liu. I like this so much more than I did when it was first released and won the Lithuanian selection ages ago. I love the jazzy, slinky feel to it. Monica is a great performer, but like I said a minute ago, somebody's got to be in 40th place, and for me, I'm sorry to say it, but it is Lithuania, still at this moment in time. Doesn't mean I dislike the song though, want to make that clear. My number 39, and according to this it is down one, it is Bulgaria, Intention by Intelligent Music Project. I've still yet to see, I'm pretty sure, I'm still yet to see anybody have this particular track anywhere above about 25th in their ranking of all of the songs this year. It was fairly unpopular when it was released last year, it's still fairly unpopular now. Could this be a qualifier? It's extremely unlikely. It is a massive step back for the Bulgarians this year in terms of quality. As I've said many times on my channel now, this is a rock song and I like rock, but this song is so flat, it's ridiculous. There's no oomph, there's no power, there's nothing particularly striking or exciting about it. Yes, it's a rock supergroup, and yes, you know, there's a nice guitar solo, but there's not enough about this track to make it stand out. As such, it's my number 39, and I think a lot of other people have Bulgaria in their bottom 3 as well, to be honest. My number 38, Israel, Mikhail Ben David with I Am. I'm still not entirely sure what the situation is regarding the Israeli participation in Turin, whether it will be a live performance as normal, whether it's going to be the on-tape performance, or whether Israel will not be involved whatsoever. I think it's more likely to be the on-tape performance, but of course we'll find out more in due course. This song, it's pop, a bit camp, a bit flamboyant. He really sells the hell out of this. He is the best thing about this song. Quite frankly, he deserves a better track. For me, this is the weakest Israeli entry for a very long time, but I still wouldn't be shocked whatsoever if this goes through from semi-final 2 on that Thursday evening a few weeks from now, because there is an audience for this type of thing. He might be on early, I don't think that matters. My number 37 is still Latvia, Chitizeni with Eat Your Salad. I like this more than I did a few weeks ago. It's fun, it's silly. Is it a song about eating vegetables? No. In my opinion, it's more a song about sex, but there we are. If Latvia really want to win again anytime soon, they need to be sending more serious stuff than this. And they have such a poor qualification record, I'm not sure this is the song to change matters in that department. But who knows? There are a lot of people out there who really enjoy this, and neutral listeners, neutral viewers a few weeks from now, they might think that this is top quality stuff. You just never know. What's also interesting is that, and this is such a minor thing to take into account because it's only an online jury poll, really. But Eurovoix, a great Eurovision-related website, every year they do the Euro jury where Eurovision-related professionals vote and the public vote, and we have a winner overall, of course. Latvia's actually doing fairly well, it seems, in that poll, which is ongoing as I'm recording this video. That's very interesting to me. Could that be a sign, perhaps, that when the first semi-final takes place a few weeks from now, Latvia might actually do quite well with the juries? I'd be surprised, but you just can never tell with this sort of thing. For now, though, Latvia is my number 37. I'm just not enjoying it as much as many of the other songs. My number 36 is still Slovenia, Disco by LPS, Last Pizza Slice. I'm liking this more every time I hear it. The music video is in this sort of comic strip animated style, which I quite like. It's a young band doing a really good job. Vocals are good. The only issue really, and I've said this before, is how static the performance is. There needs to be some gusto, some vim. There needs to be a bit of movement. Because right now it's all, you know, very plain. They strike me as a sort of 1960s band on some sort of American music show, just having a great time. And I like that sort of classy delivery, if that's the right term to use. But at the same time, I do think this song would benefit quite a bit from having more movement and a little bit more energy. I don't think we're going to get that in Turin, which is a shame. I really don't think this is a qualifier whatsoever, I'll be honest with you. But you just never know. It's not a bad song. It's very different, you know, funky disco stuff. There'll be an audience for it, that's for sure. My number 35, this is down from number 32 in the list I have on the right-hand side of my screen here. It's Azerbaijan. Oh man, great singer. Great singer, quite a sort of husky, rough voice. That's not a bad thing. Fade to Black by Nadia or Stanley. Builds up quite well. I've said this before. I've spoken about all of these songs many times now. I'm just sort of repeating myself by this point. But for me, that payoff, that great finale, it just comes too late in the song. I'm not invested for the first 2.5 minutes, really. I'm waiting for that explosive ending. We sort of get it, but then when it's over, I'm left feeling a bit deflated because the whole song wasn't really engaging for me. I'm interested to see how it's staged. He is a good singer, as I just said. Will it be enough to get Azerbaijan into the final? I think so. Azerbaijan usually are in the final. But how many points he'd get on that Saturday night remains to be seen. My number 34, up 2, is Serbia. I know a lot of people really love this. It is Incorpore Sano by Constractor. I like the chorus. I like the catchiness. I quite like the formal, almost robotic delivery of this track. She performs it well every time. Her voice is pretty good. The lyrics are very clever. If the message comes across, I've said this so many times before on my channel, if the message comes across, this is going to do very well. If the message doesn't come across, it won't do as well. But it still won't be disgraced. This is going to be in the final. I feel pretty confident about that. This is going to do quite well in the final. What will scupper Serbia's chances of getting a very good result are the professional jury marks. I wouldn't like to sit here now and say how many points I think this song is going to end up with, but it's going to be over 100, cumulative, no doubt about that. I'd be amazed if not. This song is very popular, particularly in all of the countries bordering Serbia, but a lot of people from other areas of Europe too are enjoying this track, and I certainly don't mind it either. I just can't rank it any higher. My number 33 is Moldova. This is in the same place it was a few weeks ago. Stopci Stub, their third effort at Eurovision for Moldova, and Frazi Adverhof with Trenjaletzel, the revamp. I'm sure you've all heard it by now. It's even more messy, perhaps. It feels even more repetitive than it did in the first place, perhaps. And it feels as though it's more of a rock song. We know Moldova can do staging very well. This band have been at Eurovision twice before. They know what they're doing. And we can't be shocked if this song does remarkably well next month. I'm thinking top 15 in the final. It could happen, and none of us should be surprised if that turns out to be the case. This is one of those songs that maybe not a lot of Eurovision fans are really loving right now, and maybe they won't really love it when the contest is happening or after the contest is finished. But it's the sort of thing that's going to do better than we all think it will. Perhaps. Anyway, it's my number 33 of the year. I really don't mind this, if only it wasn't so damn repetitive. If there was an extra verse or something else about the track that feels different, you know, a real change in tempo or different instrumentation even. I don't even know, but something different would just give this song a little bit more of an extra kick, and maybe I'd rank it a few places higher. It has grown on a lot of people, though. My number 32, this is actually up 2 places. It's San Marino, Stripper by Achille Lauro. We know that he's a born performer, and we know that he's going to bring it in that second semi-final. Italy can't vote for him. And to be honest, I'm not sure any of the country is going to dish out nearly enough points to see San Marino in the final for a 3rd consecutive contest, of course, which would be seriously impressive. The fact that we have somebody like this representing San Marino is impressive in itself. I mean, he is a big, well-known star in Italy, and of course Eurovision fans know who he is because he's been in Sanremo as well, including this year. The only problem with Stripper, really, it's a bit like Intention. It's a rock song, but I'm not sort of moving about the house humming the melody, you know. I couldn't even tell you how the verses sound, which maybe is me not being a great Eurovision fan here, but honestly, I remember the chorus, don't really remember the verses much, and the whole package, I'm just not really into it that much. But it is my number 32 of the year. I don't mind it. We know that he's going to, like Mikhail for Israel, he's going to sell the hell out of this. I just don't see him qualifying. My number 31, this is down 2 places, but these countries here, they're all interchangeable. It's Georgia at number 31. Circus Mercus with Lock Me In. It's going to be very intriguingly staged, I'm sure. Will they definitely go with that circus theme? Probably. Yeah, they're a really interesting group, and as I've said on my channel before, when they were announced a long time ago now, last autumn I think it was, when they were announced as the Georgian representatives, I was expecting a song that was so bizarre, so unusual, so divisive, but actually this isn't a really jokey entry. It's not that bad at all, and I was pleasantly surprised when I heard it for the first time. Do I love it? No. Do I appreciate it? Yes. Do I think a lot of people will vote for this? Probably not. But it's not a bad track. And it's different from everything else this year, you know. It's more indie, I suppose. More new wave than anything else in this year's lineup. Gotta be appreciated. My number 30 is still Switzerland, Marius Bear with Boys Do Cry. I really do like this song. I think for me it's going to come alive live. His vocals, the sort of sweet, very gentle atmosphere of this track, if they can recreate that on that big stage in Turin, a lot of people might really enjoy this. A lot of people might start getting on board with this track. Will it be too late to see him in the final? I don't know. It would be a great shame because Switzerland, of course, really turned things around with the Luca Hani and John's Tears. An NQ this year would be a big disappointment. And what I hope is that Switzerland don't go back to what they used to be like, which is just not qualifying year after year after year. I hope they keep sending quality stuff. This song is a little slice of quality. The only issue is that a lot of people are really bored by it. And if neutral listeners, neutral viewers next month are also bored by it, this ain't going through. It's as simple as that. It's a tough semi-final, and Switzerland, unfortunately, might just miss out. If he goes through, it may be because of a lot of jury love. I'm not sure the public will be voting for this in big numbers. My number 29, up a few places, is Montenegro, another ballad, Breathe by Vladana. I've not been convinced with her live performances so far. Gotta be honest, I've not been convinced. But the studio version is very nice. The song builds up. It's the closest thing to a Balkan ballad this year. It is easily one of the strongest Montenegro entries we've had in the contest since they debuted in 2007. I haven't got anything else to say about it. It's a fine song. It just needs to be really excellent in Turin. My number 28 is Belgium, This is down one. It's Miss You by Jeremy McKees. A great big whopping disappointment this is. He's performed this live a few times. I don't think he's been that great, to be honest. The energy, I haven't seen enough of it. The vocals, not that I'm a professional singer, but I don't think he's really been on the money in that department. And the song, it's not getting enough love at this stage. And unless, and I keep saying this, unless the staging is really top-notch next month, I'm not sure he's going through. The betting odds think he is going through, quite convincingly. I disagree. I'm not sure this is a sure qualifier whatsoever. And that goes with the jurors as well. I'm not sure the jurors are going to go big for him either. Maybe 4 points here, 5 points there. I'm not sure he's going to get many 12 points whatsoever. And for me, I would not be the slightest bit surprised if Belgium miss out on the final. Not at all. My number 27, I just need to check this. What am I doing here? Oh dear me. My number 27 is North Macedonia, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. This is Andrea with Circles. This is up 1 from my last update. Really like this, but it's not going through, let's be quite honest. I've actually predicted this. If you saw my most recent video, you'll know. I predicted Andrea to finish last in the second semi-final. I don't see enough points going her way. It's nothing truly incredible, this track. It is the sort of song that you think you might have heard before. Saying that, it does have a slight contemporary feel. But, I don't know. How are you going to stage this in a way that makes people vote for it? I don't think you're going to be able to. It's just going to be her on stage, moving about a little bit. Camera pans past her. You sort of know what's coming. It's all very predictable. And it's likely to be an NQ. My number 26, down 1, even though I actually like this song more every time I hear it, it's Germany. Malik Harris with Rockstars. Malik is a nice guy. The song really isn't bad. Like North Macedonia's entry, though. I feel as though I've heard this a million times before. It's almost as if Ed Sheeran wrote a Eurovision track. This is probably what he would come up with. It's very plain. It's quite emotional. There's a bit of rap. So, you know, that's going to appeal to quite a few people, I'm sure. But honestly, this is probably going to finish last in the final. Hate to say it, but it probably is going to pan out that way. And that would be a dismal result, yet again, for Germany. Oh man, I'm hoping it doesn't happen. He might do a lot better than we think with the juries, but with the public, I can't see many points going his way. It's as simple as that. My number 25 is Romania. Wursh, WRS, with Llámame, 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 and so on and so forth. Sort of Latin pop. He's a good performer. Vocals aren't bad. I think how this is going to be staged might be quite similar to how it was staged at the Romanian national selection, with the dancers and him strutting his stuff, you know. Yeah, this isn't bad, but I'm still not sure it's going through. Could be a close call. Wouldn't be surprised if it was in the final. Also wouldn't be shocked if he NQ'd. My number 24 is Australia. Yeah, this is a case of one day I like it, the next day I'm not so keen. Sheldon Riley, not the same. He is a great singer. He performs this and he's very emotional. The lyrics clearly resonate with him, and I'm sure they'll resonate with a lot of other people as well. He's wearing that veil. At the Australian selection, he was in this very dark outfit with fans behind him. Apparently, it's going to be very impressive, the staging that he's got for Turin. I haven't read too much about it, but apparently details have been announced. This will get jury points from all over the place. He's going to do so well with the juries. I'd be gobsmacked if that turned out not to be the case. With the public, though, it's surely going to be a less impressive mark. Still, the final beckons, and an all-right result in the final seems very likely. Is he going to win? I don't think so. 2 months ago I might have said yes, but now it would be a very surprising victory for Australia, if indeed Sheldon came out on top. My number 23, down 1 actually, is Croatia. Mia Dimsic with Guilty Pleasure. Oh my god, this woman is beautiful. The music video is great. It's very simplistic, nothing amazing going on, but I enjoyed it, and I actually appreciated the song more after seeing the music video. It's very sweet. Very relaxing. Yeah, lyrically, nothing truly incredible going on in that department either. But I like her. And I know that the guy that she had on stage at the national final, he's not going to be there in Turin. So I don't think she's got a dancer. So I'm interested to see how they stage this in a way that's going to make it stand out from the field, because at this moment in time, and I think you might agree with me here, Croatia looking like a non-qualifier. But who knows? Maybe the jurors will think, oh, this is so charming, have a couple of points. And before you know it, those points, add them all up. Croatia's in the final, especially if the public mark is better than we're thinking it will be as well. For now, my number 23, really don't mind this song at all. My number 22 is the favourite to win. Stefania by Kalisz Orchestra for Ukraine. They're going to be there in Turin. They've been given special dispensation to be there. There's going to be a huge amount of buzz surrounding them and this track. I think if it was 100% public vote, I'm still not sure Ukraine would win. If it was 100% jury vote, Ukraine would definitely not win, in my personal opinion. But still, could this song win? I mean, I don't know. I've spoken about sympathy points going their way. That's bound to happen a little bit. I don't think this is the winner. I think it's going to do very, very well as Shum, if not slightly better. I just don't think it's winning material. And I'd be interested to see what the reaction would be if Ukraine did win. Would we get a lot of people really peed off that Ukraine have won? Because I've not seen many people have this as their number one. And I'm thinking ahead to next month. People watching the contest, hearing these songs for the first time, are they going to think, yes, that song, Stefania, that is winning material? I'm not sure they will. I don't know. I'm really rambling now. I think between 3rd and 6th in the final is a safer bet than putting money on Ukraine to win. And of course, if Ukraine win, I don't think they're going to be able to host it next year. You never know. I doubt it, but you never know. For now, my number 22, it's a really interesting mishmash of sounds. I love the fact that they're going to be there in Turin. That's great news. That's a victory in itself. But to be honest, I'm not sure the band are particularly bothered if they win or not, because obviously what's going on at home is considerably more important than a singing competition, let's be quite honest now. Winning Eurovision would be wonderful, it would be a bonus, but at the same time, there's more pressing matters going on politically, and let's hope that all comes to an end sooner rather than later, absolutely. My number 21, Albania. Yeah, this is pretty good stuff. Secret, Ronela Hayati, the first song in the first semi-final next month on that Tuesday evening. She's going to bring it. There's going to be choreography. She's going to nail the vocals. There's going to be fire and sexiness and fierceness and sassiness. It's all going to be there over the course of those 3 minutes. It's going through. It's not winning, but it's going to do quite well for Albania this year. It's my number 21 of the year. Now then, my number 20. My number 20 is Norway. And yeah, I wasn't such a fan of this song when I first heard it. I wasn't really such a fan of this song when it won MGP. I'm not such a fan of this song now, but I really, really don't mind it. The lyrics are fun, they're a bit silly. The whole song's a bit silly. It is a bit of a jokey entry, but it's performed in such a convincing manner. You know, no offence to the Latvian track, but that song is a bit all over the place. Whereas this Norwegian track, yeah, it's a bit of a jokey song, very tongue-in-cheek, but it's performed as though it's not a jokey song at all. It's performed in this very convincing manner. This is probably going to win the public half of the results in that first semi-final on that Tuesday next month in Turin. The juries may also like this a lot as well. I doubt it's going to win the jury vote, let's not go that far, but this could win the first semi-final. And then in the final, I think it's not going to win the contest. Can you imagine the scenes if Give That Wolf a Banana by Subwoofer did come out on top? My God. But I think somewhere between 6th and 11th in the final seems like a safer bet. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Norway is my number 20. It's all about the live performance. It's all about the choreography. And like I said, it's performed in such a way that you can't really help but be swept up in this track for 3 minutes. If it's drawn into the first half of the grand final, yeah, that might be a little bit damaging. Second half, it's going to be on right towards the end, perhaps. It'll stand out a ton, more so than if it was on in the first half. The points will pour in. This has broad appeal. And youngsters, young people watching this contest, it might be their first Eurovision, you never know. They might think this is just top-notch stuff. So, moving on. Oh dear me. My number 19 is Malta. Yeah, this is cliched beyond belief. It is a Melfest reject. It's Emma Muscat. She's great. The song, yeah, for a lot of people, but I really don't mind it. I really don't. I am what I am. Maybe I'm just a sucker for this type of track. You can sort of clap along to it, sing along to it. It's quite feel-good. It's quite uplifting stuff. Emma's a pretty good singer and a pretty decent performer. It might not qualify whatsoever, and we all know that Malta are bound to do well with the juries, but not so well with the public. As a result, when you put those points together, this is probably missing out on the grand final. But if this goes through, none of us should be surprised. It's really not too bad. It's really not too bad. I just think what puts a lot of people off this track is how cliched it is. It's almost as if no thought has gone into the lyrics or really the melody. It's very, very safe. But that doesn't mean it's bad. Anyway, my number 18 is Cyprus. I feel as though I should have this song higher, but alas, number 18, it's actually down one. This is Ella by Andromachi. Very good singer. She performed this at the Spanish pre-party recently in a studio somewhere. She sounded great. Absolutely fantastic. And if she sounds that good in Turin, oh, the final is coming and points are coming. I've said this before, I'm so glad this isn't another pop bop from Cyprus. Instead, we've got something that feels a bit more traditional, a bit more reserved, a bit more reined in. It's in Greek, yes, and there's a lot to like about this track. My only concern is, will it stand out enough? Will people forget about this as soon as it's over? It's very possible, because this isn't a high energy number. It's very placid, you know? That's my only concern. If this flops, wouldn't be surprised. Not at all, not at all. If this does better than expected, also wouldn't be too surprised. A good result, though, is perhaps on the cards. My number 17 is Iceland. This is underrated, in my opinion. Indeed it is. Somebody on Wee Wee Blogs, every year they team up and give points out of 10 to all of the songs. You've probably seen this, and I do keep an eye on it. And somebody gave this Icelandic track a 2 out of 10, I think it was, something like that, which is very, very low. I mean, even my number 40, my number 39 of the year, I wouldn't give anything less than 5 out of 10, really, because they're not bad tracks. You've got to look at it as neutrally as possible, even if you're not a fan of a song, even if it's not really your cup of tea. Hello, this has gone cold, there's a shock. You've got to think, okay, I don't really like this style of music, I don't really like this about the song, but here's what actually is working quite well. I can see that they're a good singer. I can hear that they're a good singer. And they've done well in the pre-parties. And the way that they've performed this live has been really good. And the execution, the whole thing. These things are working. You wouldn't give it 2 out of 10. Anyway, the Icelandic entry is Með Hækkandi Sól by Sister. I really love this. It's in Icelandic. It's very haunting. It's very pretty. It's got this Americana folk vibe. The lighting at the national final, Song for Kepler, absolutely terrific. And in Turin, if we get more of that, mwah, it's going to be so good. So good. Juries might adore this. This could be the jury darling of the year. It could be the dark horse of the year, ladies and gentlemen. It could also flop in terrific fashion, and we'll never hear it again. I don't know. I really like it. I think the fact it's in Icelandic, in particular, as somebody who's trying to learn Icelandic, fun fact, that's not going well. I just love the language. Oh, just gives it a little bit more of a mysterious and intriguing vibe. Really like it. It's a really good song. It's right up my street. The older I get, the more I enjoy that style of music, I must say. Oh boy. Come on, let's get through this. My number 16, this is actually up 4 places by the looks of it. Interesting. It's Poland. Ochman with River. Great singer, love the tone to his voice. Very smooth in terms of its delivery. And this is not a bad song at all. The chorus, it's good. I just wish it was even more impactful, you know? Because the verses are building up, and then the chorus kicks in and you're waiting for it, and it's just not quite as exciting as you want it to be. But it's still not bad, you know? I don't know. This is one of the favourites to win the whole thing. That's not happening. This is not winning in my opinion. But this is going to get Poland's best result for a long, long time, since Colour of Your Life in 2016. This is a much, much better song than that. So this is probably going to finish in the top 10. And I think that would be justified, because it's really not a bad song whatsoever, and he's a good singer. You've got to stage it well, though. At the national final, I wasn't convinced. And live performances, he's, you know, sang it well, but the staging, I don't know. Maybe they've got big plans, we wait and see. My number 15, Armenia. Of course, the current junior Eurovision champions. This is Snap by Rosalind. She's great. She performed this at a pre-party recently. Was it the one in Madrid? I'm not entirely sure. It was just acoustic. My God, she is a great singer. Great singer. Let's not be sleeping on the fact that she is a great singer. She's on last in that first semi-final. Is that because she's going to have the floating house on stage? Who knows? It could be really, really impressive, this. It feels contemporary, but also very simple. There's nothing flashy about this. And it's got a sort of toe-tapping beat. It's really very pleasant to listen to. I don't find it irritating. I actually find it quite charming. I've said this before on my channel as well. If you have a charming track, you could already be onto something very, very special indeed. We've seen it happen before with charming songs that people underrate before the contest, and then look what happens. They do quite well in the final. This could be the same case this year for Armenia. And yeah, I think this is qualifying. I really do. It's on last in that first semi-final. I don't think this is going to be damaged too much, coming after Greece and Norway, who are just before Rosa in the running order. Armenia haven't been in the final since 2017. This is probably going to get them back there on that Saturday night. Moving on, my number 14 is Maros. Saudade, Saudade for Portugal. Oh man, this is great. Really great. I mentioned Wee Wee Blogs again. Absolutely flaming outrageous. Somebody, I can't remember who, 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10. Get out of here. This is worth much more than a measly 1 out of 10. This is a little slice of magic. I really love this. I've said it before. Oh, it just takes me to another place for 3 minutes. It's like I'm on the beach. Not that you'd find me on the beach, because the heat, it makes me feel sick after a while. But there I am on the beach, listening to the waves. Oh man, it's so peaceful. It's lovely. It's just a lovely track. And she's great. Oh my God. Another beautiful woman. Really. The crush of the year for me. But let's not go down that route. This is just tremendous. Tremendous. And I didn't even really think much of this when I heard the Festival de Canção songs. And then she won. And I thought, well, I better listen to this again, because I've got a blog post to do. And I'm going to be talking about this track again and again and again on my channel. It's great. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. I love the way it was staged. I love her voice. It's so gentle. It sort of just wraps you up in a warm blanket, you know. Oh man, she's got another song coming out within the next few days, I think. That sounds pretty promising too. Has she got an album coming out? Might have to see if I can buy it, because I don't know. I just think this is, like the Icelandic track, right up my street. Right up my street. And I'm hoping this isn't disgraced. I don't think it will be. I don't think this will be completely ignored in either the jury or public half of the results. I think the jury mark might actually be very high for this. Could be a jury darling. Gotta move on. Number 13, France. Well, this is totally different. This is very expressive. This is quite flamboyant. This feels as though I've just stumbled across some sort of mysterious cult in the woods, and I'm freaking out. It is Foulaine, performed in the Breton language. Yes, by Alvan and Ahez. He's doing the business, and then you've got the women sort of, you know, bopping along in the background. This is so different from Voila. It's not going to do as well as Voila, but this is going to do quite well for France, I'm sure. It's going to be such a striking, memorable performance, a good place in the running order, and the points will pour in from all corners, I'm sure. And in a way, I'm glad this just isn't in French. The fact it's in Breton immediately makes it a bit more interesting. It makes you want to look up the lyrics and, find out more about the language in general. At least it has with me. So yeah, France, my number 13, that's actually the same as it was last time. Yes, indeed. Great song from France. I did want Seul to win, but this is a great effort as well. Moving on, number 12, Austria, Lumix featuring the mysterious Pia Maria with Halo. This is pure Euro pop. It's very, very stereotypical in that sense, I guess. Pia does all of the work. Lumix may as well not be there. He's just going to be behind some sort of DJ platform, pretending to DJ, and then Pia's obviously going to be doing all of the vocal stuff. This could do very well. A lot of people are really, really loving this. And the public mark in the final, because Austria will be there, I feel pretty confident about that. The public mark could be very high indeed. 120 points plus, which would be enough for a top 8 finish in the public half of the results. The juries might kill their chances. That's the only thing stopping Austria getting a good result this year. Pia needs to sing very well, and the energy needs to come across, needs to fire the crowd up in Turin. If that is achieved, a good result is on the cards. If it's not quite working the way it needs to be working, then Austria may struggle, and yes, maybe this won't qualify in the end. We just wait and see. Austria, yes, was my number 12 last time. My number 11 is still the Czech Republic. We Are Domi with the lights off. This is up-tempo stuff. You've got the guy playing the guitar with a bow. The revamp wasn't too different from the original, to be honest, but I really enjoyed it, and I still enjoy it now. As long as that energy comes across on stage, as long as the vocals are really good, because I've not been too convinced so far, although I do know the lead singer had the virus not so long ago, and that obviously can play havoc with your voice. As long as it all comes together very well in, a nice mix, this is going through. It's the last song in the second semi-final, so maybe the staging will be quite impressive too. I just think this could be really amazing live, with the flashing lights, the stage looking incredible, the crowd really going forward as well. Yeah, it could be a real moment. We just wait and see. Moving on, my number 10 of the year. Got to get through this. It's Italy, the host nation. Brividi by Mahmoud and Blanco. 2 huge stars. Mahmoud finished second in 2019. Blanco is so young. I think he was born in 2003, which just makes me want to retch. But the two of them have teamed up, and it's a ballad, and the harmonies are fantastic, and I don't think they've really performed this much at all since Sanremo. But we know it's going to be amazing on that stage in Turin. We really do. Italy know what they're doing. They're not turning up and going to get a poor result. They're in it to win it again. And this could win. It could win by a mile. It really could win by a mile, because it's sweet, it's charming, and you just know it's going to look so beautiful when it's performed live. We know that they're 9th in the running order. The running order may play a slight part as to whether this wins or not, but you better believe this is coming for a top 5, if not top 3, if not first place finish. It is my number 10 of the year, and I think it would be higher if this had been performed live more times since Sanremo. So I wouldn't be surprised if after Eurovision a few weeks from now, this song moves up a few places. My number 9 is Ireland, Brooke with That's Rich. Live performances, not great. Got to be honest, they haven't been that brilliant. There's a bit of choreography. The vocals have been a little bit, up and down. But I'm hoping that in the second semi-final, it comes together really nicely, the whole package. There's been some interesting staging from Ireland over the past couple of years. I mentioned this before, I think. A hot air balloon, the bench with the 2 male dancers. We've had the diner look, the pop art look with Sarah McTurnan as well. So what will we get with Brooke? I don't know. She's great, really likeable, really fired up for this experience, and I wish her the best. I'm not sure Ireland are qualifying, but you just never know. My number 8 is Denmark. Oh yes, The Show by Reddy. Starts off slow, then becomes more of a sort of pop rock song. Maybe it takes too long to get to that stage. I've said this before as well, it feels predominantly chorus. That's what sticks in your head, the verse is not so much. But the vocals are good, the energy is there, They've performed this well live since Stanks Melody Grand Prix. Just not sure enough points are going to go their way. But I enjoy this for what it is. My number 7 is the UK. Go on, Sam! It's Spaceman. This guy can sing. My God, he can really sing well. So impressive. He's got a huge online following. And this song is the 4th favourite to win. It's been the 4th favourite to win for quite a while. And that's so surprising. He's doing well in the OGAE vote. Not that we can just base our opinions on that. He's done well in people's rankings of the songs on YouTube and other jury votes as well. It's all looking really good. The staging. Now, I saw an image online recently. It was actually video footage as well. Of, I think it was one of the sort of stand-in rehearsals that they do before the delegations arrive. It seems as though there's this big structure on stage that opens up. There's probably going to be a smoke machine, there's probably going to be a rocket, and I wouldn't be surprised if Sam is somehow floating across the stage a little bit. Maybe something along those lines, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not going to speculate too much. We will find out soon enough. But a good place in the running order, and nailing the vocals, which he will do, because he's done it many times now, we could be on course for a really good result. I'm well behind Sam, absolutely. He seems like such a genuine, down-to-earth guy. He gives a crap about this contest. And he's done plenty of interviews already. He's going to do more interviews soon, I'm sure. And I just love the fact that he's swatting away the British press and their negative attitude of the contest, which is very negative sometimes. And he's just having a blast. And even if he doesn't do that well on the night, I don't think he's going to be really negative about his experience. I think he's going to come out and say, you know what, I had an absolutely terrific time and I gave it my all and I'm going to release new music soon. Thank you for and all of that stuff. I don't think he's going to be a jerk about it, which is so refreshing. And if he gets a top 10 result, which I think is very, very possible, it's a massive step in the right direction. And Sam could become a mentor to the next British representative. We wait and see. I should actually hold up this article. Where the hell is it? This is from a British newspaper today, as I'm recording this video, which is Saturday the 23rd of May. Here we are. One of the first pages in the newspaper as well. Get that. Unbelievable. There's been more coverage about Eurovision in the British newspapers before Eurovision this year than I think we've had for many years in the past. Here he is. It's going to be back to front. But it says here, there he is. Nul point no more. UK becomes 4th favourite to win this year's Eurovision. The article here, which is written by Adam Sherwin, so credit to them, it mentions how he's got a big online following. It mentions that the song is wistful about an astronaut circling the Earth. How he's busked and performed in loads of countries already. He's off to Berlin apparently. It's very easy for a negative attitude about Eurovision to become a habitual thing. The positivity means the world to me. There's a bit about how the UK's form over the past few years has been shite. Then he talks about, or rather the person who wrote the article talks about how Ukraine's the favourite to win. And how the song is a skillful pastiche of prime 1970s Elton John, Queen and David Bowie. A blend of those musicians' sounds. Very interesting. Then there's talk about his record deal with Parlophone and his TikTok stuff. And he says, this is Sam Ryder saying this, I'm going to sing my head off on the night. Go on, Sam. Why not? Do us proud, my lad. Now then, moving on. Number 6, Estonia, Stefan Hope. He's a good singer. He's performed this reasonably well live. And this has, like I mentioned with the Armenian track, I think, this has a bit of a toe-tapping melody. It's very easy to sing along to. It's very feel-good. It has this sort of slight country tinge to it, but it's not over the top. I'm glad he's finally getting the chance to represent his country. I think most Eurovision fans are in agreement that this is qualifying, and it could do very, very well. Do you remember Denmark a couple of years ago, 2018, Higher Ground? That did really well. That won the public vote in the second semi-final. I'm not saying Stefan's going to win the public vote in the second semi-final for Estonia this year, not at all, but this may do really well. We wait and see. My number 5, Spain, Slow Mo, Chanel. Spain, surely this year, not going to finish in the bottom 5. This is too good to finish in the bottom 5. Chanel just comes out on stage and is like, haha, let me show you how it's done. And she just struts her stuff, looking incredible, sounding great, the choreography is amazing. And yes, this song is very heavy and perhaps all about the dancing, but she sings it well. And maybe the lyrics are a tad cringy, but you know what? People aren't going to give a crap, because the points will surely pour in for this from all corners, and Spain are on course for a great result. Surely this year it will happen, and it's so memorable. It just sort of gets stuck in your head. Just the whole package is working really well, and it was working really well from the very first time she performed this live. So it's almost as though this song was ready to go right from the start. My number 4, Finland, the Rasmus Jezebel. Oh my god, they've got to sort this out big time. Got to sort it out big time. It might be my number 4 of the year, but my god, you've got to sort it out. What are you doing, lads? Lauri Ilonen. Oh man, you don't sound good. You have not sounded good for a while now. At UMK, at the pre-parties, and look, I'm not going to be too harsh here, but the vocals just haven't sounded great. And I know they're opening the second semi-final, and I know there's balloons as part of this performance. And it's a rock song, so bring the energy, bring the fire, bring the fierceness. You know, blow us away. That's what you need to do with a rock song, pretty much. Especially on a stage like the one you're going to be on in Turin next month. It's got to be bang on the money. But unfortunately, this could absolutely fall flat. And on first in the running order could be really damaging, I don't know. The Rasmus are a big name, one of the biggest names in this year's contest. And they've got huge amounts of experience behind them. But I am concerned that this might actually really not get the love it deserves. We wait and see. I think it's going through, but it might not do incredibly well in the final. It's just got to sound better, and you've got to bring it. It's a rock song. Bring it. My number 3, Greece. Yes, Finland and Greece have swapped over. Greece, Amanda Georgiadi Tenfjord died together. Great. Made a video all about this. The atmosphere. The fact it's mostly a cappella for half of the song. The fact that it's so unfussy. It's just her. You are drawn into this straight away. It builds up nicely. It's got this very satisfying conclusion. It's dramatic. The lyrics will really strike a chord with a lot of people. It's Greece's strongest entry for a long time, and this should be pushing for the win. I'd be surprised if it finishes anywhere but the top 10. In some of the online votes, Greece nowhere to be found. I'm surprised at that, but there we are. Greece, great song. Number 2, the Netherlands, De Diepte, Ace-Teen, the first Dutch language entry from the Netherlands since 2010. She's great. It seems so positive, so likeable. I've watched interviews with her, fantastic stuff. This is a great song. The lyrics are really fantastic. Again, it's the atmosphere. I keep using that word, but the atmosphere is fantastic. It's moody, it's dark, it's gloomy, and yet somehow it's also got this slight optimistic feel to it as well, which I can really love. And every time I hear this, I'm just totally invested. It's the sort of song that when it starts playing, that's it. You know what you're doing for the next 3 minutes. You're not skipping this. It's a tremendous track, and this is doing well in the online polls. So the Netherlands could be on course for a great result. A great result. That leaves Sweden, my number 1. I know a lot of people think this is overrated, but it's going to do well. It might win, it might not. We wait and see. It's Hold Me Closer with Cornelia Jacobs at the helm, and she's got a slight raspy voice. It's very emotional, but it's not too over the top. It's very haunting. I use that word again. It's very pretty, and she's totally in control of this track, and it's very emotional, and so many people are loving this. So many people are loving this. There has not been this much love for a Swedish track since Euphoria, and I'm not saying that's a sign or anything like that, but this is a return to form, and potentially a return to form in the public half of the results for Sweden as well, after some middling scores over the past few years. Anyway, that's it. My current top 40 of the year. Whether I make another video like this before Eurovision, I don't know. Feel free to let me know your thoughts. As I said, do not take offence. This is just my opinion. It is just my thoughts, and the list is fairly interchangeable, as it will be for weeks to come. That is it. What a ramble. Let me know what you think. Links in the description to my other social media pages as always, and I'll be back with another Eurovision related video very soon. I don't know when. Obviously, rehearsals start a week today. And whether I make videos about the rehearsals as much as I did last year, I don't really know, because I am trying to take a bit more of a step back this year. But I'll make a decision closer to the time. Until then, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and bye for now.